Hello, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. I guess next week we'll start doing our show recaps. We're going to be doing season 3 of The Righteous Gemstones. And if you missed it, we recently had a guest, did we not, from The Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah.
Well, baby.
Yes, she was a toilet baby. I'd like to get him on the show.
To never let him go.
Pardon?
So we never let him go.
No, I know. We'd be talking to him for like 6 hours.
Like to keep him in a jar in my basement.
So you go down, you wouldn't even need like a nightlight. You could just have him smile and then the teeth light up the room, would they not?
He's got that Martha Ray Polident smile.
He sure does. Do you think he's going to be, he won't be on the new updated Justified, right?
Nah, probably not.
Maybe not even like, did he go to jail or did he get killed? I forget.
He was alive. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because his last words were, "We dug coal together."
We dug coal together. Valen Hall was our guest a couple of weeks ago. If you missed it, go back and check it out because The Righteous Gemstones season 3 is underway.
She's hilarious and nice and a great voice.
We'll be back starting next week with our Patreon only show, and to find out how to be a part of that, well, it's real simple. You just sign up at the $5 and above level on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Tim Andrews. And if you're a producer, why, you get a doodle and you get a t-shirt. I just sent out a couple of doodles, still working on a couple. I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but Jeff Peterson edited his pledge to $25, making him a producer. So Jeff, thank you and welcome aboard. Our other producers are Tim Slayton, Brian and Chelsea Smith, who just had a fun adventure out in Colorado. Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Kevin Jackson, Mike D, and Matt Carter. Thank you guys very much. Again, if you'd like to find out more, go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. Geez, man. Yeah, it's hard to talk this when the nose is all stuffed up, you know. I've been working on it because you kind of put your teeth out a little bit, have your lip hang down a little bit more, and then try not to sound so rednecky.
Yeah. Like you're going to suck something from the taste.
Yeah, that's right. Because, yeah, you know, Roseanne, I like Niagara, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario.
I like that Andrew Santino on Theo Von episode.
No, I liked him on Harlan Williams last week.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant, Harlan Williams.
Yeah, he's always funny. He's been on there a bunch. I don't know. That's why I'm listening to a lot of podcasts more than I guess that I'm watching TV. But
Santino is definitely one of the greatest, like, younger comics right now.
Yeah, I never heard of him until recently.
He was on the Showtime show that we watched about the comedians.
Yeah.
Dying Up Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any of those people, though.
And he was on, on Dave.
Yeah.
Dave?
Tim doesn't watch Dave.
What's Dave?
On Hulu.
It's a show about this rapper, Lil Dicky.
Oh. Is that right up my alley?
Well, Lil
It's
Dicky.
funny. Season 1, anyway, you'll get a kick out of it if you watch it out. Season 2,
Isn't much. Yeah.
yeah.
He's good, but it's not anything you're going to be like, ooh.
Ooh.
The show was really funny, though, at least the first season.
I'm stuffed, too. I had, had barbecue for lunch, so I had some ribs. And I've got the itis.
Ribitis.
Ribitis from Father's Day. Ribs, chips. It's a Ford's in Tucker. Man, a lot of restaurants these days, they need more staff because this place was hardly busy and their food is good. So I'm not knocking them, but it took forever. And like I had 2 people in the kitchen, I think 3 people tops waiting tables, maybe 2 people, 1 runner. Just not enough people. And I don't know if that's, is that everywhere?
That's definitely everywhere. We went out and we were at a Chili's. We walked in with like 6 people. She was like, would a booth be okay? And I was like, a booth would be perfect. Big round booth over there in the corner. It's wide open, be perfect. And we walk over there. House manager stops us and says, I'm sorry, that booth in that section's closed. And they crammed us into a 4-person booth with a chair on the end.
And you put up with that? You tolerated that?
It was one of those, let's just get through the meal and
It's
not
Chili's.
do it in front of the mother-in-law kind of thing.
It's Chili's.
It's Chili's, which is why was it closed?
My son tried to explain. He was like, well, maybe it's the person that was supposed to come in to have that section didn't come in.
Right.
But it was just weird. They were like, no, that booth's closed.
That booth, the one that would be comfortable, that really wouldn't be out of the way, the one that
Yeah, I would give you a nice big tip for putting
Yeah.
us in and everything. Yeah, no.
Right.
It's not like that for the rich, because I had lunch with my friend at the Avalon in Alpharetta last weekend, and there were people falling all over themselves to help your ass because they thought you had some money.
Yeah, that makes sense because the Avalon is what that big complex was. Lots of clothing stores that no one can afford. Do they get?
Oh yeah, I mean everything
too-
looks like a fucking Pottery Barn commercial. Everything does.
They get robbed, or are they too far away? Was that where that Lululemon was that got robbed?
I think maybe, yeah, there is a Lululemon there.
So the Lululemon is funny. There's a Lululemon at this place. If you're not familiar with it, Avalon, it's just a big place. Rich people go shopping there. And middle class people go there wishing that they could shop there.
Oh yeah, I didn't buy anything but food.
Right. And there's a lot of good places to eat. But of course, they fall victim to the shoplifter thing. And Lululemon's corporate policy is you're not allowed to stop people. So the manager who tried to stop these people from stealing the stuff got fired here in Alpharetta, which is just north of Atlanta. So let him take your shit, man. Let him take your shit. If you're mean to a crook, you will lose your job. And that's just the way it is. So screw you.
I think it's liability
Yeah.
because they're afraid you're going to get your ass shot and then they're going to get sued.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, let them go.
I thought it was you might hurt one of the thieves and then they would sue.
Yeah.
Could-
Well, it's all insurance and litigious shit. It's same thing with I think companies now, like our company, they put these cameras in like every truck to monitor the not the what's going on, but the driver. And they got such a discount from the insurance company for doing it that it cost them like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But just because they would save so much more on the insurance, they did it, but not thinking that you've got drivers who've been driving service for like 25 years now have a computer talking to them, telling them how to drive is a route that they've been doing for decades.
You can't
Yeah.
jack off in your trunk anymore.
No, sure can't. Not unless you want HR to, tell you when time to finish.
Can you sexually harass yourself?
You could put on a show for everybody at the for all the bots watching you.
Yeah, drive a route that spells out "fuck you" on the map.
Speaking of harassment, I want to sexually harass Jenny's Ice Cream because that is one place to go in the Avalon. Is they have a Jenny's Ice Cream place.
Jenny Sacramone? Jenny
You know it, Jenny. You know
Yeah,
Jenny's Ice Cream.
Jenny?
Girl.
Jenny.
Jenny. She had the ooey gooey butter cake ice cream. Oh my
I don't know
god.
who that is.
I like the Boston cream ice cream.
Jenny's Ice Cream.
or Jenny?
Jenny.
Jeni.
Tim doesn't know Jenny's
If you buy
famous ice cream.
How the hell would I know about Jenny's secret ice cream?
If you buy her pints at the grocery store, they're like $9.
Oh, yeah, no. We don't know any of that. I don't buy ice cream ever.
But they have a place where you can get scoops and whatnot at the Avalon.
Did they have
She
the
has-
Ted Lasso ice cream? Because it's always sold out on the.
I don't know. I didn't see that. I'm all about the ooey gooey butter cake
Yeah.
fetish.
Do you get
for it.
bored with it halfway through? They have goat cheese with red cherries.
Oh.
You would think almost every flavor that they put together, it may sound crazy, like a car engine and wasabi, and then she puts it together and it's amazing.
And this looks good. Brambleberry crisp. Is she local or is it a chain?
It's a chain, but it's very rare that you're going to find one of her ice cream shops because it's only going to be where there is a dinero,
A denanana?
the dinero, where the money is. You're not going to find a Jenny's in Snellville. That's never going to happen.
You're not going to find one in Covington.
Well, I mean, you won't find one in Tucker either.
I know. Trying to find a smaller town.
You gotta go on the Cobb side of town.
No, there's actually one indicator.
Really?
Oh, in the good part,
Yeah.
in the sassy part of Decatur with the historic homes, I'm sure. In downtown Decatur,
Yeah, it is downtown Decatur.
not the deck.
What is a brambleberry? I've never heard of a brambleberry. Now I want to try it.
It's like a huckleberry.
Green mint chip. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to go to this place.
You got to go there.
Where do they carry it? Kroger, Publix?
Publix and Kroger both carry a limited number of pints, and Whole Foods has some too. But it's $10 a pint, literally.
It's the most masculine looking pint you've ever seen. You won't get noticed.
Does it have a beard, pubic hair?
It's solid pink, like everything about it. Pink.
Speaking of pubic hair, just really quick, I have to say we watch the video channel all the time on Amazon. This commercial that keeps popping up with this bitch shaving her pubic hair. What? This crap?
No.
It's a thing for a razor. It's a razor that's specifically for your bikini area. And it will show her, and she's kind of gross. And she's there just like shaving her pubes. And it says straight up on there, pubic hair, blah, blah, blah. It's so fucking gross. I'll be eating my English muffin in the morning, and then here comes pubic hair.
With jelly on it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think we always knew that we could shave that. I don't think you have to tell. It doesn't have to be in a commercial. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm done.
What is the brand? Snatcher? Has 3 blades.
It's Snizzler.
The Snizzler. That's the name of the show. The Snizzler. 2 Z's, Dustin. All right, we'll get back to some. So on the Popcast this week, which is my radio show on WSP, airs Sunday nights on 95.5 FM if you live in the Atlanta area, or you could listen on the WSP radio app, which means you have to download the app, and you watch a Cool Ray commercial, and then off you go. Yeah, so this week my guest was Matt Malero, and by the time this is out, the podcast will be out. So if you want to find it, I'm sure Dustin will maybe include a link, but it's called The Popcast with Tim Andrews. Matt Malero from, well, he's done a lot of things. Adult Swim, he co-created Aqua Teen Hunger Force with Dave Willis, who we've had on a bunch of times over the years. First time I've ever had a chance to sit down and talk to him, and it was a lot of fun. And when the podcast comes out, there'll be material that wasn't on the radio show. So if you already listened to it, there's more when it comes out.
More you getting presents that are too awesome you don't deserve.
Well, it was awesome. I got the Mecha Aqua Teen, which is stacked on top of each other. There's never getting opened. And a copy of Aqua Teen Forever Plantasm.
And we should give that away since we both already have it.
I didn't want to be rude. I was very grateful to get it. I'll throw away the one Dave gave me.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun. He's a real cool dude. We talked about a little bit, and he didn't give any details, but the upcoming season with Aqua Teen in November. Talked about a little bit of his history, a show that I never ever watched that I've known about. 12 Ounce
Mouse. Yeah,
and I gotta watch that. It looks funny. And of course, the main reason he was on to talk about his movie, which you can get on Tubi right now, called Postocalypse.
I watched that last night. It was good. I like the animation style a lot.
Yeah, I like
kind of Venture Brothers-ish.
Yeah. And, Dana Snyder, really good. William Sanderson, I didn't know he was.
Yeah. And Lavelle Crawford.
Yeah. He was funny as shit. Everybody was.
Lauren Holt from Saturday Night Live, her one season on Saturday Night Live.
Yep. And he talks about how he got everybody on the show. So
lots of commercials on Tubi though.
Yeah, but it's you can deal with it.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll watch something, if you're watching a series or something and you watch more than one episode in a row, the commercials don't pop up.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's cool. For a movie though, I think there was maybe 3 or 4 different ad breaks.
Yeah, and you can pretend like it's the 80s and get up and hiss. Let's see.
It was a funny movie though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I recommend it to you. Let's see what else this weekend. Then we'll get going. And we are going. Doesn't matter. I had a good Father's Day. This was the second with Gilbert. Actually, the third. But the first one, he was a month old. So we didn't really do very much. We went out to Rev Coffee in Smyrna, which is really good. You ever been there, Jeff? You live close by.
I used to live right next to there, but no, I've never been.
It's a good place. They have good food.
Hey, let me know next time you're going. I'll meet you up there.
Okay. Yeah, we couldn't go out to dinner with the fam this week, so I took him out to see his grandma and grandpa. And yesterday, I went to Jerry Fuchs' house. It was his 60th birthday.
Aw.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, so belated happy birthday, Jerry Fuchs.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jer.
How was the party? A lot of people there?
Yeah, a lot of people. Nice people. I didn't know anybody, but it didn't matter. he knows cool people. I met a friend of his who's an animator, who still works on, what's that show, that Star Trek show? Lower Decks.
Lower Decks, yeah.
Yeah, he's an animator for that, and he works on a bunch of different things. So, thanks for inviting me out, Jerry and friends.
What'd you get him for his birthday?
I got him, I went to the comic book store in Tucker, Infinite Realities, and I got him a Betty Page comic book, episode 1, and then I got him a Mad magazine.
Nice.
I don't know how often that comes out. Then I got myself number 2 and number 3, Planet of the Apes.
Woo-hoo.
Comic books.
Oh, that was a series you started getting, last year?
No, this is a new series this year through 20th Century Fox and Marvel.
Oh, okay.
They must have gotten, 20th Century Fox must have got the rights back to the comic book. I don't know how that shit works. I don't pay attention to it all that much. We did a recap show of Barry, and now Barry's season, it was 4, right? Barry's season was the final season, and the last episode was a couple weeks ago, was one of the better series finales for modern shows. It was up there to me with Better Call Saul, and now a lot of other shows have ended, by either shocking or being polarizing. Newhart was a shock, but it was great. It was a callback to his earlier 70s sitcom. The Sopranos, that you people either like it or hate it, and never the twain shall meet. Seinfeld, people liked or didn't, but if you watch that season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, where they keep saying, everyone from Seinfeld keeps saying that the ending sucked, and Larry David keeps getting defensive about it, I think it was pretty good. Others were bittersweet send-offs, like Barney Miller, Good Times, Cheers, Mary Tyler Moore, and MASH. Also, modern recent great examples, Mr. In Between, Succession. I think that everybody liked the ending of you guys' soccer show, right?
Yeah, Ted Lasso was a really good finale.
Was it sad or happy or?
Yeah, hopeful, sad, happy, everything.
But I think Steph posted this article from April 2022 from Variety, Variety, the worst series finales of all time. So we want to go through that, because I looked at it, and a lot of them I don't think they're accurate about. So they start right from jump with one of the most polarizing endings of all time, The Sopranos. And they have a plus and a minus. Somebody's for it and somebody's against it, and we'll post a link so you can go through it too. But we'll just talk about what we think about it. I thought it was a great ending, and Jeff and I saw it. We were living together, and we were both like, "What the fuck? That's it?" Jeff, I think, was like, "What?" You remember that? Yeah, but
you had no idea. You felt like your fucking cable went out or something.
Yeah, that was the rug pull. You thought your cable went out. Like, what the fuck? What happened? You got mad. But over the years, I've grown to just accept that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a good way to end it. Leave it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Let everybody make up their own mind about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you pick up the show in the pilot, you pick up in the middle of his life. Why don't you end in the middle of the life? And all these years later, people are, is he dead? Did he get shot? Blah, 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 blah. And they call back to things that were said throughout the season in the show. So.
Yeah, I thought it was a great ending, and it was like left up to your interpretation. And then I love how Chase has come back and said, "Oh, well, of course he was dead." And then Chase is like, "No, I don't really mean that." I mean, so he's been very ambiguous about it.
And the good thing for us is that show can't ever be rebooted.
Right.
It's not a good thing that James Gandolfini is dead, but you can't reboot that show unless, I was thinking the other day that how would they do it? Like, maybe Meadow is, a high-profile lawyer who represents.
AJ is running the family now.
No, AJ wouldn't be running the family. He would be like running a porn store.
But it's like everybody in the crew is dead.
Yeah, Bobby's dead. Syl, brain dead. Gandolfini dead. Christopher dead. Paulie dead.
The prequel, the Many Saints of Newark, that was as close as you were going to get, being a prequel. But I thought it was funny. The director came out I think it was this week, and said that maybe he should have watched the entire run of Sopranos before he started filming that movie, and he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
What?
He said, and it shows. Yeah.
I wouldn't
yeah.
want him even touching it if he didn't even watch the whole series.
And it kind of makes sense as far as the feel of it. Just didn't feel like the Sopranos show at all.
But Chase could have had, put his beak in and said, this isn't right or whatever. Maybe I liked it. It's not something I'm going to watch again. It's so, I don't know. It's some of the things don't make sense if you've seen The Sopranos a million times like I have. They just don't make sense. Let's see. The next one on the list, Seinfeld. I think I've watched it once since it ended. And when did it end? 99, 98?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why people hated it so much. I thought it was funny because they were irredeemable people and it pointed it out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they pointed out in the article too about how they used a lot of show clips.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very lazy.
And they'd always said that Jerry and Larry David always said they hated clip shows.
Mm-hmm.
But they did do a clip show. And
It just seemed too fantastical of an ending for that show, which was based on the mundane. It was kind of weird for it to end that way for everybody.
But it does end. It ends with them being who they are, sitting in the jail cell complaining about shit.
But like every single person that they've ever wronged came to this town to testify. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, I know. It was goofy as shit, but yeah, that's why it's polarizing. Game of Thrones, I agree. That show ended horribly. In fact, most of the season sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you didn't have source material, so that's George R. R. Martin's problem.
You had that going against you. You had the creators of the show in charge at this point, and they were trying to get done as quick as they could to jump on the next Star Wars movie that they had just been greenlit for, which has since gone to the wayside. Yep. So they kind of threw all that away. Kind of sucks.
Yep. But you were led to believe one thing, and then Jon Snow should have been the king, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have been fine with anybody being the king had they not just rushed through that whole last season and just tried to jam a bunch of triangles into circles. Nothing was working. And then for her to be who she was the whole time, and then all of a sudden Daenerys, now she's Mad Queen.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday she was fine, today she's this.
Yeah.
Now she's killing everybody.
Yeah.
It was
Breaker of chains.
Yeah.
Burner of children.
A burner of children, burner of families. I liked what's her face killing the Night King though.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That wasn't even the finale, was it?
No,
it led up to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably never watch that show. Season 1 of Game of Thrones is probably one of the best seasons of TV ever made. Certainly in the top 20. But again, it gets all crazy.
that was the first 4 seasons.
First one are solid.
Fucking rocked.
Yeah. But that first one for sure. The Battle of the Bastards, I think, was one of the best things on TV.
Yeah. I rewatched that episode probably 4 or 5 times.
I've watched
Such a great episode.
The battle, and then I get sucked into what happened to what was his name, the bastard that wasn't
Theo.
Tyrion.
Yeah. Oh. No, the one that gets eaten by his dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, it looks like a goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Cut Theo's ding dong off.
He was the one from Misfits. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Sansa. Next on the list on this variety worst series finales ever, Battlestar Galactica, which that has its ups and its downs. Spoiler alert. Really, if you've never seen it and you plan on watching it, don't listen to the next thing I'm going to say. There's a main character throughout the entire series who dies once, comes back. And at the very end of this episode, her best friend, ex-lover, whatever, brother, a pseudo brother-in-law, brother, whatever, they're very close. He's talking to her and he turns to her and she's gone with no explanation. And I don't believe it's ever been explained. Has it, Jeff?
No.
But I think that series stands up. It's not as sci-fi and space opera-ish as the original series. And it is really kind of a victim of its years because it's, tied into the Bush era. So there's a lot of that war talk and shit like that. But I think the series ended well. maybe a little bloated at the end. The battle scenes were great, but it was very anticlimactic at the end, I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch it, Steph? Dustin?
I never watched that show.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. I thought the ending was good. It was as good of an ending as it was going to get, I thought. They really couldn't, it didn't leave themselves anywhere else to go, really. I think that's why they may have ended it that way, or hoped that it would be something else afterwards, like another miniseries or movie or something. I don't know.
I think they were fucking dumb to get rid of all their technology. But,
well, it's the circle.
Yeah. To build the pyramids by themselves or wait for the indigenous humans to take them slaves.
I'm waiting for Galactica 2080.
When's that happening? Galactica
2080.
Be 110. The next one on the list, I'm going to let Steph handle because she's the biggest Dexter fan, I think.
That last Dexter, my God. That did used to be, I thought, the second worst ending of all time. It was the second worst. And then the reboot was, I feel like the end of the reboot was better than the series.
Yeah.
Just because at least gave you a better ending to his character.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I watched every episode of that last reboot, but yeah, for Dexter to be as great as it was for, 4 to 5 seasons, it was pretty solid.
Season 4 was the season with
the Trinity Killer.
Yeah. And he was fantastic, and that was such a great season. What was after that? Was this the one of that with Tom Hanks or with Colin Hanks?
Yeah, and then the Smiths.
Jimmy Smiths was season 3.
Was it 3?
Mm-hmm.
3 was the Smiths, and then I don't even know what happened in 6. Was 6 the Hanks one? I don't know. But the 7's the one where it ended.
You had the chick from Handmaid's Tale. She was his girlfriend. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Weird. And then that last season when he became it was just dumb. Dib. I don't even remember those seasons. I remember up to 5.
Yeah. 2 being the best with Dokes. Him and Dokes' war.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I forgot about Dokes. Dokes was great.
Dokes was the best.
Next show on the list is Lost.
Sucked.
Aptly named series because as it got going longer and longer, it got lost. An amazing premise for an ABC television show, for a network television show. It was really, really good, and then just went to hell.
I never watched it because I've had so many people who did watch it and were infuriated. So I was like, I'm just not going to bother.
Yeah. Because they never answered the questions about any of the shit that they set up.
Nope.
Yeah.
They just kind of went sideways and said, fuck it. We're not going to answer any of the questions.
Yep.
Who was the smoke monster?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of explained that, but not really.
That was kind of the whole series. They kind of explained that, but not really. That sums up the whole thing.
Right. There's a touching moment with Jack and his dad. If you watch the show, you watch that and you kind of get a little choked up, but it's just like, well, you're dead. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. I've never watched this show, so you'll have to tell me, those of you who've watched it, How I Met Your Mother.
I never watched it.
I watched it. Yeah.
So what would people have a problem with the ending for?
They were mad because they set it up to be one person that you thought it was going to be the whole time, and then they pulled it out from under you and then had to scramble to get back.
You mean an narrator?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the whole time, 9 seasons worth, the whole they fed it up to be, you knew it was one person, it had to be, and then right at the last second they switched the person up, and it was like, that don't make any sense.
What was the premise? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, the premise of the show is How I Met Your Mother is supposed to be them telling stories the whole time, like flashbacks, and all you hear is the narration. So you and it's the narrator is one of the characters in the show. So you're like, okay, this is easy. You see this couple, and they're always a couple, and they have their ups and downs throughout the seasons. But ultimately, it's going to lead to, the kid being born and everything. And then right at the last minute, it's just like the person you thought it was going to be. It's not. It's one of the other characters.
And Jason Segel is who you think it's supposed to be?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right. I guess you're not going to spoil it. The next show I never watched. Well, maybe I did, and I don't remember, but it didn't really resonate with me. Dinosaurs. So I have no clue why people wouldn't like the ending.
Me either.
The asteroid hit the Earth, right?
That's what I was going to say. Was
that
what
what
happened?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what happened. And they went extinct.
okay.
So why do people hate that? Because that's like factual.
I don't know.
I guess for the time it would be like an asteroid coming down and wiping out baby Grogu,
Yeah.
No.
because that's how everybody looked at those things.
Oh, they froze to death thanks to the Ice Age. Doesn't say anything in here about the. Were you making that up about the?
No,
Right.
and we could asteroids create ice ages. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they. Are you seen this picture? They're all wearing parkas and stuff.
parkas.
If I met somebody and they told me that they remembered the final episode of Dinosaurs, I would think that they were in a mental hospital.
Here's a show that I liked for a couple of seasons that it just went off the rails. True Blood. I don't even remember the ending. I don't remember jack shit about it. Like I said, the first couple seasons were cool, and then it just, oh, here's some fairies, and here's some werewolves, and here's some smog monsters, and here's a dinosaur, and here's a rock that talks. It just got really stupid.
They should have just called that show Vampires Fucking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The problem was they created the whole series and it got popular off the first book in this series, but the whole world of the series contained like fairies and werewolves and werepanthers and like all this stuff, but they didn't bother trying to cram any of that in until like the second or third season. And then they tried to put it all in, and it was like, no, it's way too much.
Yep. It was like a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Roseanne, that by the time Roseanne had aired the final season, it had become sort of a social, I don't know, social type of show where they were talking about issues constantly. And even back then, I was like, come on. But then, of course, Dan dies, right?
I had stopped watching that by that point.
Yeah. And you come back, when they did the reboot in 2018, season 9 was completely thrown out and they were still together. Then Roseanne died because she was racist. He killed her off.
A lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Racism kills.
That's right. Racism kills. If you're going to insult somebody, make sure you know that what you're saying. Don't do Adderall. Or no, it wasn't Adderall. What was it? It was Ambien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ambien made me racist.
You know how you get on Ambien? You're like, what are you drinking out of that water fountain?
Don't touch my tail. You'll get it dirty.
Get your hand off my tail, you'll make it dirty.
So some of you will get that. Mad Men is a show. And now listen, I never saw the final episode of that either, because by that final season, I was done with Mad Men. I'm like, okay, I'm done with it.
Well,
I disagree.
I didn't mind the finale.
I didn't either.
Nelly.
What happened in the finale?
Mm-hmm.
Don made the "I Want to Buy the World a Coke" video.
Oh. And why do people hate that?
I don't know.
He ended up being like, it was sort of like a capitalist Zen master,
Okay.
which, to me, I felt like it was pretty on point with who he was. Like he wasn't going to stop being Don.
Right.
Or who he really was anyway. But that was like as close to enlightenment as he was going to get, was to, come up with a Coke commercial to bring people together, but also make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Peggy moved to Canada and then came back to America, and then went back to Canada and came back to America, and then she started wearing a hood. Started having babies for rich white men. It's all fucked up. Way to go.
Yeah, I didn't mind the last. I thought it was pretty good.
Here's one that's going to be confusing for everybody. The X-Files. The X-Files ended, and then there have been movies and specials and movies and miniseries and weird shit like that. I liked the way the original show ended before they had a season without either of those two. So it was like Laverne and Shirley, and it was just Shirley. But X-Files kind of, I guess, lives on its own. I don't really know what else to add about that. For me, the end of the X-Files was the first movie, really.
Yeah.
Because by the time The Sopranos came around, I'm like, who's watching the X-Files? And Sopranos were on.
Well, Duchovny was off the rails by then, so it was hard to. Well, with everything, he was the one that didn't let them come back and do more series at the time. He had other obligations he had set up, and
So he started Californication.
right.
The next one on the list is Chuck Lorre's 2.5 Men. I never really liked that show all that much, but anytime I've watched it, I've gotten a chuckle or two. Only if Charlie Sheen's in the show.
Yeah, I mean, by the time the finale rolled around, Charlie wasn't on the show anymore.
So you kind of have to be creative with that kind of finale and just say, yeah, the finale was when Charlie Sheen left.
Yeah.
That show ran forever, man. Chuck Lorre is fucking loaded, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I guess when you turn 60, your television just locks into CBS.
Yeah.
Can't change it. And they get all your money and they get all these ratings. Because, listen, I never watched CSI. I thought that's one of those old CBS shows, old people CBS shows. So I was at my uncle's. This was in the early 2000s, maybe 2004, 3 or whatever. And they're watching it. I kind of got sucked into it. Like,
Yeah, the original CSI was good.
yeah, just the first one. And
Yeah.
I never liked the one in Miami. The one in New York was good, but then it got all, it was like, okay, yeah, they're CSI guys and they're running around New York City shooting people. I'm not buying that. But yeah, I didn't watch that show. Girls, I didn't watch, so it looks like she's holding. Did she have a baby?
I guess. I watched like the first 2 seasons of that show.
It looks like her baby was born a 40-year-old man. Looking at the article, Variety, but I never watched Girls. Yeah, I didn't watch Gossip Girl.
I watched Gossip Girl
Okay, why would people hate the ending of Gossip Girl?
because it didn't make sense that Dan was fucking Gossip Girl. After all those years, when you do the flashbacks and whatnot, you're like, how the fuck was Dan Gossip Girl? Because a lot of times when they were getting these texts and these Gossip Girl blasts about gossip that was happening, he was sitting right there. And the fact that he was like tormenting his own girlfriend and all this other crap, it didn't make any sense. And then they said that they didn't intentionally mean for Dan to be Gossip Girl. It was just weird.
Because he's a boy?
No, because I don't know why they didn't intend for him to be. They intended it for be somebody else, but then they just changed it to him, and it fucking made no sense.
Okay. I will
It wouldn't make sense to you anyway because you don't have a vagina, so you would never ever fucking care.
I do so. I have a neo vagina. I keep it in a bucket. You want to see it?
No,
You got to wait a couple weeks for Tim to finish the surgery. Then he will.
No, I made it out of cells. Quantum Leap. That show had a weird ending, but I liked it. So
Yeah. It's
I don't remember the
unfinished.
ending.
you don't remember the ending?
Mm-mm.
He meets God, and God is that guy E-Day from Animal House.
No, really.
Yeah,
I have to look that up.
He sacrifices himself for Jerry, doesn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ziggy says if you don't kill yourself, you're going to end up turning into a Cylon like me.
And then he just keeps traveling through time.
Yeah, and then he turned into an Asian guy. Leap enough. If you leap from the early 90s to 2020, you completely change.
Did he ever leap to the time that we're in now? I wonder.
No, you
2023?
You couldn't leave to the future.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Only the past because he had to fix shit in the past. That's right.
Yeah.
And that was a great device also to not have to do something in the future. Let's see. Northern Exposure. That was an interesting show.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
The endings was bad though, and what's his name? Joel left like halfway through the final season. He was like, "Fuck this."
And Rob Morrow made that show.
Yeah.
Right. Right. It did go off the rails.
I think the creator might have left too, like in mid-season, and they brought in somebody else. I don't remember who it was, but they brought somebody else in to finish out the show, and nobody liked the way it ended.
David Chase.
Oh, it's David Chase.
Yep. He took it over.
Does not seem like a show that would be in his wheelhouse.
No.
Jerry Adler's in the picture, so
A quirky, non-violent show about people in an Alaskan
Yeah.
walking down.
my God, there's hundreds of shows on this list. Maybe we're gonna have to kind of just wrap
Chop it.
And most of them I didn't watch. St. Elsewhere was a great ending. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're fucking retarded. That is the worst ending ever. Ever. You're more retarded than the kid that said the shit about the fucking snow globe.
I haven't seen it since it aired, and I still remember it. And I thought, well, what an interesting and creative way to end the show.
Okay, so this kid who is mentally challenged took on the AIDS crisis. He thought up the first character that had AIDS and all of the inner turmoil that this person went through, and this all happened in the snow globe.
Yeah, and then the guy got raped. And Howie Mandel was a doctor for some reason. This kid was a genius.
Yeah.
And then he was watching Knight Rider and he said, well, this guy will be the head doctor. Kit was the head doctor.
You don't understand that this was the first real adult show that I was so into.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
was
us were.
obsessed with this show.
Yeah.
I think I was 12 when the ending, and that was my first huge disappointment in following a television series to the end.
Yeah. I can see that. I imagine it, but I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was an interesting, and at that point I hadn't been so sophisticated as I am today. I was still.
You were 16. I was 12, and I knew that this is crap. This is
I was 17. Thank you very much. Yeah. Jeff would have been 18, but yeah. All right. Well, you can check it out for yourself and comment what you think are some bad endings. Just to go back to before we got started talking about them. Barney Miller had a great ending. They shut the light off. They leave the precinct. It was really cool. Very sad. Good time. Yeah. Everybody's dreams come true in good times. They get out of the ghetto. Cheers. He just gets his bar back, and at the end he walks back to his office. Mary Tyler Moore, same thing. Closed the door. As Vincent Gardenia fired everybody except for Ted Baxter.
Yeah.
And MASH was overblown and very, I don't know, heartwarming.
It was audience service for the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are some good ones.
Two modern ones that I thought did bad was Bloodlines. I hated that. That ended terribly.
Yeah.
After having two great seasons, that third season, because they got canceled and they had so much more story to tell, and they just crammed it all into that season, it ended so badly. And I thought Snowfall sucked. I was so angry at the end of that.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I think Steph's right. Because he was so smart the whole time. It wouldn't have ended up like that.
Thank you, Jeff. I feel so, this contrition for me. I appreciate that.
I was okay with it, though, because Leon did all right.
Yeah.
Leon?
I was glad Leon made it.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go do the commercial, I forgot to mention this earlier in the show. Our friend Ira, who used to be on this podcast, he stopped by the Von Hessler Doctrine last week and caught a couple of segments with us. He texted me that he was in the area and asked if he could come in, so he did. And we talked a little bit, so hopefully he'll come on with a game sometime. He's just real busy all the time.
No, his daughter, man, how old is she now?
I think she's 15, maybe?
Wow.
Get out of town.
14 or 15, yeah. Guitar player, I think, or learning guitar.
Oh, it's going to be probably in the Vipers.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're the Vipers. Another Sopranos reference. Hey, thank you to Atlanta Pizza in Gyro, our longtime sponsor, and thank you to Mike Hall and everybody at the restaurant. Summer is in full swing, and boy, is it ever. It is hot. And they have new local craft beers for you to enjoy. Terrapin Brewing's Watermelon Gosa. It's a tasty, refreshing sour ale that is thirst-quenching, delightful, served ice cold on draft. They've added another tasty local brew, Creature Comforts Classic City Lager. That sounds good. That sounds like something I would like. It is now also available on draft. Land Shark Lager rounds out their updated summer beer selection. In addition to great beer, they serve up the best freshly made Greek and Italian specialties around in an authentic retro dive pizza place that come-as-you-are, family-friendly atmosphere. Dine-in and takeout available. Limited delivery is also available through Slice, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. If you are a business or corporate client who's looking to find a food truck for your next private event or catered luncheon, contact Mike Hall at Atlanta Pizza in Euro by calling 770-483-6228. Open for dine-in and takeout Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturday, 12 to 9, and closed on Sunday. If you have a commercial or residential construction printing need, then contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005 with fast turnaround at affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldine.com. What, Jeff? Did I mention that I watched a movie called Malum on Apple TV?
No, I saw you wrote that. Matt Malero recommended it.
Yeah. It was fucking weird and scary, and I'm confused, and I don't know what to think. I need to watch some YouTube videos about it. It's a kind of an update to a movie, a low-budget film that came out a couple years ago. Same guy made it a little bit slicker and a little bit grosser, I imagine, but it's about a cop who shoots a cult leader. There's, he's a demon. They're demons, son. So yeah, I recommend it if you like the horror genre. I'm about to watch the Winnie the Pooh movie. Anybody else?
Oh, no.
I watched Renfield.
Was it good? I heard it was funny.
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't get into it.
No?
It's really gross. I mean, it's very gory, which I enjoyed. They just should never try to make Awkwafina a love interest for somebody. That's where it kind of, because she is funny. I enjoy her. She kills me. But her, like Nicholas Hoult and her, just,
yeah.
She's not a romantic, there's no vibes coming on.
Right.
I think of her as being very gender neutral. Like she's just the character.
Right.
So I don't know. Other than that, though, but it was funny. It's worth watching. Nicolas Cage was very good.
I'll have to check it out. I've been wanting to see it. So where can you watch it? You have to pay, or is it streamed?
No, it's streamed somewhere. Peacock.
Peacock,
Maybe?
yeah.
Shit, we just got rid of that one. Peacock. Fuck Peacock. Yeah, Peacock, NBC. Fucking just.
Views. Or.
Snooze.
Last week was Alone. Did anybody watch that? Season 10.
No.
No, but I found out you can watch it online on streaming. So without having, you can just watch it on their site, right?
It's good. There's a guy from Georgia on there. I don't think he's going to make it very far, though.
We should try to contact him.
Yeah, I messaged him on Facebook. I didn't ask him about coming on the podcast yet, but just said I was rooting for him. Always Sunny. Steph watched a couple of those.
I watched all three.
Yeah, they're funny.
That first one is the best, though. The gang gets inflated.
Yeah. No, I think it's because of the seats I'm blowing up. I blew up a lot of couches.
It's flaming hot. I started to watch it, but then I turned it off. I wasn't into it. Yeah.
You were right, though, Tim. The third one is pretty funny, too, of Always Sunny. When Mac's talking all crazy when he meets the Chase Utley. Mr. Utley, has a...
Yes.
Some like 1920s paper boy.
Like catch? Some catch? Have a catch? Have a catch?
All right, this week, Stan Lee documentary premieres on Disney Plus.
Ooh.
This is made by the guy that made the Jiro Dreams of Sushi documentary about the sushi guy.
Oh, that's his daughter. Yeah.
That makes me think of that Norm Macdonald. Jiro Dreams of Ass.
Yeah.
It was Nick Swartz. Anyway, sorry for the sidetrack. Yeah, I'll watch Stanley.
Yeah, I bet you that's going to be good. And then Walking Dead, Dead City. Steph already watched it. She says it's good.
I loved it. Yeah, I really liked it a lot.
All right.
And I've been out of Walking Dead's universe, except for the Tales of the Walking Dead, that one that was the anthology show. I haven't watched Walking Dead in years. And I really enjoyed Dead City. I thought it was pretty good.
This is Maggie and Negan in New York City taken over by zombies.
Why are they in New York City?
Because Maggie's... Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't give a shit. I'm not going to watch it.
Maggie's son has been taken at the beginning by one of Negan's old gang members. So Negan's been on the run for a minute. So she's tracking him down because she feels like he's the only one that can help her get her son back. And he has taken her son into Manhattan, which is like, Zombie Central,
Right.
because they closed it all off to try and keep, the zombies all in one location.
And then the president's plane crashed over top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
But as much as this crap as I've seen, it was a lot of action, a lot of zombies, and pretty much all of the characters that they have introduced, they're all good actors. So
Right.
it's definitely worth watching.
I'm gonna view it.
There's no resolution though that hey, we've got a cure or anything like that.
Not yet.
They're trying to work towards a cure on Fear the Walking Dead, which is ending this season. But I don't know if it'll happen or not.
Is the comic book still going?
No, the comic book stopped a long time ago, even before the series ended.
Oh, okay.
And number 3, Secret Invasion starts on Disney Plus this week. Have you watched it already?
No, I haven't started yet, but I'll end watching it.
Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury. I think it's gonna be good.
Scrolls.
That's a snooze for me.
I'm gonna check it out. It's a views for me.
All right. Now it's time to do staff picks. I'll start since I already mentioned mine earlier. If you care, or if you want to, I'm not going to elaborate on it. Joe Rogan, most recent episode, RFK Jr., 3 hours of him talking. There you go.
Mine is I'm a Virgo. It starts on Prime on June 23rd, and it's that guy who did Sorry to Bother You. That weird movie with Lakeith Stanfield. I really liked it. So this show is also very surreal and out there, and it's about a 13-year-old boy.
Aren't there puppets on this show?
There's all kinds. There's just crazy shit on the show, and
Cool.
And the kid is
I get it.
the kid
You
is
have a puppet
13.
as your avatar on your phone.
The kid is 13 feet tall.
Okay.
So it's just him trying to navigate his life as a
Aaron Trump.
13-foot tall,
Aaron Trump.
basically. Anyway, it looks weird and crazy. Kind of reminds me of like maybe Happy, how Happy was like the first season, where it's just wild.
Right, Dad. Are you screaming about me?
It's the spit. That's what I hate more than anything. Is the
What spit?
that the spitty mouth.
I can't help it.
I
Impediment.
hate it. Hate it.
He's missing some teeth. He can't help it.
Oh God, it reminds me of this kid I went to school with. It was like, I wish you were mute. I wish you couldn't talk at all.
Then I'd sound like this, right?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, like my head always cocked. Yeah. All right, see you later, Steph.
I just wish you would do him as Benicio del Toro.
Give me the money, you fucking cocksucker. What the fuck?
And my staff pick is a YouTube video. It's have you guys heard of Ren? It's kind of all over YouTube. No, he's actually a musician out of the UK. He's Welsh singer songwriter, and he's been all over YouTube recently because dealt with a lot of depression and mental issues and therapy, and he puts it into his songs. And there's a song on YouTube called Hi Ren. It helps a lot of people. There's a lot of reaction videos to it online of people watching it for the first time and their reaction to it. And I would suggest everybody give it a watch or a listen and see what it's all about. But yeah, it's called Ren. Hi Ren is the name of the song.
Cool.
Mine is season 2 of The Bear starts this week.
Damn, already.
That looks good.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Steph, what's going on with Barkville?
I don't know. I'll have to get back.
You'll have to get
I
back.
think there's something going on next weekend, but I have not. I've kind of taken a hiatus from Facebook for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just kind of like, I've popped on there here and there, but I just need a break.
I get it. I
don't really know what's going on. I'm just trying to get my brain together. And there's just too much sad shit on Facebook, so I'm just trying to avoid it. Bury my head in the sand. I like it in the sand.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Sandy. All right. Well, you left snow.
I'll do. Yes, I will.
And Dustin, your brother's band is St. Paul and the Broken Bones. They almost ended up with some broken bones themselves. I wanted to touch on that before we wrap the show. What happened?
Yeah.
Where were they?
Yeah, well, they were at the Hollywood Bowl when they were doing a jazz festival, and I guess a fan wanted to run up and touch Paul or grab him, and they made about 2 steps before they went through the canopy and landed on the ground, probably about an 8 or 10 foot drop. But in Paul's fashion, he jumped down first with the security guard and helped the lady back up, and she was good. She was just excited that Paul was the one helping her up. But it got on TMZ this morning, so TMZ is pushing out the story, which made it sound like, a crazy fan jumped off the 3rd story to land on Paul, but in reality, it was any press is good press, I guess.
Hell yeah. And now people with very few brain cells will know about your brother's band.
if they're getting it from TMZ, yeah.
Remember? We got out of the same car, you're back in Barry.
Now on Streamberry.
Yes. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful, wonderful week. From now on, the show will be coming out on Wednesdays. And you guys like this time to record?
Sure.
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, that works.
All righty. Until next week, please remember to keep it
Keep it Jeni.
And